Well, Minnesota has a rich military history, one that's still being written daily at places like Camp Ripley. And at Camp Ripley, there's a museum dedicated to preserving the past and the hometown heroes that were a part of it. Cameron Kramer takes a closer look in this week's Northwoods Adventure.
Whether it's the Civil War, a World War, or a modern war, the Minnesota Military Museum does its best to showcase the Northerners who served their country from every era. And there's plenty of interesting stories, like the 99th Infantry Battalion in World War II. Composed mostly of Norwegian immigrants, the battalion was supposed to head into Norway to conduct unconventional warfare against the Axis powers.
They were experts in skiing and snowshoeing and winter survival training because, again, they were expected to go into Norway and conduct operations there against the Germans.
The plan was ultimately scrapped, but that didn't mean the battalion was off the hook.
They fought in Northern Europe after the D-Day landings and in the Battle of the Bulge, and then into Germany, and then at the very end of the war in May, they were loaded onto landing ships, landing craft, and sent to Norway.
There's more World War II history about the 34th Infantry Division of the National Guard.
This is one of the unique pieces from the division. The division had many firsts. It was the first unit sent overseas in World War II, and they had the honor of firing the first artillery round in the European theater.
Luckily, someone was wise enough to save a souvenir.
The commander decided to save the first brass casing that was fired against the Germans. He sent it back to a jeweler in Minneapolis, had it engraved, and it was preserved.
There are many other artifacts, some donated by local residents, like this 42-piece collection of Lugers.
The Germans were trying to market their pistols around the world, and they made a series of various types of American Eagle Lugers. And if you look on the top of the receiver, you can see an American National Eagle impressed into the receiver.
The museum is already planning its next exhibit and hopes to document the Civil War in a much more detailed way than in the past.
With the 150th anniversary, we felt that we had to do a special exhibit on it. This is going to be the largest exhibit we've ever done at the Military Museum here at Camp Ripley.
The exhibit is under construction, but is set to debut July 9th. And if it's like any of the other exhibits, it will come attached with some interesting tidbits of American and Minnesotan history. For this week's Northwoods Adventure, Cameron Kramer, Lakeland News.
And that museum is located at Camp Ripley, and it's currently open Thursdays and Fridays, but will expand its hours to 7 days a week beginning May 1st.